And also, the fact that he's complaining that we're not swearing enough. Yeah. What sort of a cunt would bother writing that email?
I don't know, mate. I don't know, but I know he's just some kind of fucking cocksucker.
What have you got, Annie?
Well, now, of course, a couple of weeks back, you gave the rather long-winded but fascinating sort of brain-teaser, conundrum, philosophical question about the heaven and hell doors. And there's been a number of responses to that.
I know.
Explain your error.
Well, I got it. I realised as soon as we put it out there that I should have said, assume no prior knowledge. Otherwise, you can just say, hold up a cat and say, is this a dog? Or you can say, what's my name? But they don't know anything about you. That's the thing. They only know about themselves, and I should have said that.
Yeah. So are you willing to just now say that you've embarrassed yourself?
I've embarrassed myself. I should have said, yeah, it's got to be about. It's only about the. You can ask questions.
Well, do you know what? It's a bigger man than many that can admit that.
Or a man that's banged to rights and obviously caught out and has no choice.
Well, it's quite interesting to sort of wade through the emails and find out the kind of people that are listening, get a sense of the different listeners. And I know you, Rick, have met some of the big celebrity names that have listened to the show, and it's sort of because you've actually met them. But it's now we've got celebrities who are just emailing in, just letting us know. This one is from a guy called Aaron. He says, "My name's Aaron Douglas, and I play Chief Tyrol on TV's Battlestar Galactica."
Oh, right.
And he listens to the show in his trailer. Now, I don't watch Battlestar Galactica. I hear it's very good.
Yeah,
but it's nice to know that.
I don't watch it. I don't watch any of those things. But that's.
It's nice that Chief Tyrol. And for those of you that watch Battlestar Galactica, I'm sure that means something. But it's nice that he got in touch. But I'm just thinking, who would you, in an ideal world, Rick, who would be your ideal listener, a celebrity listener?
Well, it's not so much celebrities for me. I like the idea that captains of industry or scientists or people actually doing something worthwhile are listening. That's what excites me, because they hear. You know, we've had a couple of emails from people who are doing, you know, PhDs and psychologists and that excites me more. These academics are listening. I mean, who's the weirdest person you think that who should have more time on their hands? You know, Stephen Hawking. Imagine Stephen Hawking listening to this show. You know, he's putting together the formulation for the universe, but he's going to listen to a little bit of monkey news from Carl Pilkington.
Imagine Stephen Hawking emailing us at podcast@rickygervais.com. I mean, that would just blow our minds, wouldn't it? He's got time to do that. That he's got the inclination to bother doing that.
He's always online, though, isn't he? He's always hooked up.
Is he?
Well, he's always got that little computer on. Why not? Sure, that's one of the perks. You can just bung an email out whenever. I'm not having a go. That's what I'm thinking. He's sat there with his little computer. Out of all the people in the world to have a chat with, I'd probably like to have a chat with him about space and that, because I can't get my head around it.
Cole, you can't get your head round frozen foods. What a chance are you going to have with the universe?
No, but just putting stuff out there, it freaks me out when I'm lying there in bed at night and I think about how this world. On Friday, right, I was in bed with Suzanne and I said, could the world fall? Right?
It's like something from Chicken Licken.
Wow, that's a hell of a bit of pillow talk, that.
Isn't foreplay hell? Oh God!
But I'd like to sort of have a chat with him, because I reckon he could put it in a way that I could understand it.
Oh, I wish an Inuit was listening.
Did I not tell you this? We had an email from an Inuit.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I'd mentioned this. Have we not mentioned this before?
No.
No, there was an email from a guy who said, I don't think he lives in Canada, I think, or somewhere else. I apologise if I'm getting that wrong. But I think he said he was half Inuit, and he listens to the show.
Half Inuit? See, that's interesting, because I think it was so remote. I know I'm probably wrong now, but I think that those are so remote that I can't think where they're meeting people who aren't
Inuit. Yeah.
Oh, and who's going, other societies are going, I'll tell you what, I'm fed up, there's no action here, I'm going to the frozen tundra, I'm bound to meet someone there.
Yeah.
Where do they meet? Do they do online dating?
Probably a lot of online stuff.
What do you put as hobbies? Fishing?
Yeah. Skinning stuff.
Skinning stuff? Yeah. What stuff to skin?
Seals.
Seals. Yeah, sure. That's about it, isn't it?
Why are they hanging about round there? Why are seals going, do you know what, it's cold, I'm sick of it here. It's windy all the time, what have you, and I'm getting a club on the head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're meant to be quite bright in seal. Why are they knocking about them parts?
I don't know.
Say, like, if seals died out, right? Would that be a problem?
We've done this.
We've been through this before, Carl.
Everything has a knock-on effect.
Even a seal, that's sort of in between something already. It's between a fish and a and a dog, innit?
I knew you were going to say dog. It's not between a fish and a dog. What do you think evolution does? Fish to
never
dog.
understand it. Maybe
What do you mean it's between a fish and a dog?
I'm just saying
It was a perfectly evolved mammal that re-entered the water, I imagine, and then got streamlined and... I mean, it's between a fish and a dog.
But why not have one and the other? Why not have, like, you know, you've got a dog, you've got a fish.
No, it's not
anything in the
between a
middle.
fish and a dog. It's not between a fish and a dog. I don't know what between means. I don't know what...
This is it again about saving everything all the time. What is it doing? What's he doing? Everyone's feeling sorry for him all the time. Save the seal and all that. What's it doing? Why are we saving it? Let's just ask that question. What's it doing?
I don't know what to say. It's between a fish and a dog.
That bloke, the Eskimo who emailed in, would he be in a igloo thing?
Probably not. No.
Well, no, not. I mean, I don't think many igloos have got internet capabilities. I don't know. I don't want to slag them
But
off.
why aren't we saving them? Why aren't we?
Maybe there's sort of-
When you build it, leave a little hole.
Yeah.
That's where the...
But there's kind of igloo internet cafes. They
Yeah,
all
they go there. They all go to one igloo. Yeah.
But why are they being left alone to live like that when it isn't great?
What?
Well, we're always eager to help everyone in the world, aren't we? We're always like going, oh, look, them people are fed up. Let's build the city up for them. Give them a, you know, coffee shop and all the rest of it. They're being left
Cappuccinos for
alone.
them.
They're being left alone in igloos and stuff.
Yeah.
Why isn't anyone saying?
But they're not asking for help. They're happy. Well, they're not necessarily happy, but that's the way they live. That's where they choose to live.
But why hasn't anyone just gone over and gone, do you know what? We can make it a bit better for you.
Well, they have.
I've never had a leaflet through the door saying help an Eskimo out, or, you know, clothing for Eskimos.
The most remote people in the world, eventually someone gets them some whiskey and fags, and that's the end of them as a culture. It happens all around the world. There can be this idyllic world where there's no stress, and soon they're watching Come Dancing on telly, knocking back some whiskey and smoking 40 fags a day.
But they're not moving,
Surely
are they?
dancing on ice.
But what I mean is, like, Oxfam collects clothes for people in Africa where it's warm, probably don't need a jacket. Nothing for Eskimos where it's freezing, where they'd be quite happy to get a jumper in the post.
Right, okay. So what you're suggesting, to Africa we send parasols and sun cream. Yeah. You're an idiot.
Out of all the people in the world to have a chat with, do you know, what's his face? That German doctor.
Which one? The guy that displays the human body?
Guns Traven or something.
All right, yeah.
He's pretty good. Just like the way, you know, he cuts stuff up, shows you how the body works and that.
Sure.
And have you learnt anything from that?
Well, I don't. Is he a proper doctor? Because it's just that it's always. I mean, I could cut a body up. I never see him sort of put it back together. Is anyone keeping an eye on him? Sort of going, well, who is he actually?
I'm sure he's a proper doctor.
Well, he sort of cuts bodies up on the telly and sort of goes, here's how, like, the intestines work or whatever.
Right.
And he just he holds them up, fills them with food, and he goes, look, they go fatter. And I mean, he doesn't answer everything. Like, he doesn't say, I don't understand why the intestines have to be that long. I don't know why it just can't go from the throat to the belly, exit, straight dark line down, out the arse.
You must know.
Well, no, because the way he dragged it out, and it was like miles long.
Yeah.
Pointless.
No, it's not pointless. It's
Just have a straight, you know what I mean? Straight down.
It's to increase the surface area for absorption. So a foot long intestine, you wouldn't absorb much food, whereas you go down, you know.
Yeah, but just have more points in it where it has to go through some sort of filter.
What are you talking about? Again, the evolution sort of worked this out for us. It really works.
I don't think you're going to improve on it. In your mind, some kind of Kaplunk style.
No, but what I mean is that's probably that long because years ago they were eating dinosaur, and that might have took a lot of indigestion or something. I don't know how chewy it was. It might have been quite fatty, dinosaur meat, and it needs to go through all that. Now we're eating like yogurt. So I mean, we don't need anything that is doing that much work anymore. All the food is mashed up. Auntie Nora, right? All her food is mashed. Right? She doesn't have to chew anymore. She's got teeth, but she doesn't need them. And that's how
She's got teeth, but she don't need them.
No, but that's how we're
she'd
moving
have her
on.
intestines removed then.
Well, no, but this is what
That
I'm
would sort out
saying.
our other problem, wouldn't it?
We're changing everything all the time, aren't we? I mean, there's some fella who was looking at on the internet, identical twins, right? They were sort of sick of looking like each other, so they were like, what can we do, right? And one of the twins said, you have my arm, right? And he had his arm taken off and stuck on his twin, so his twin's got like 3 arms.
No, it's not true.
It's on the website.
No, it's not true.
What, for a laugh? They were born
So what,
they didn't have
just
what,
like-
what doctor's doing this then?
Well, they're old enough to sort of say this is what we want, and
No. Doctors don't go, well, if he wants another arm and I'll take it. They don't. Doctors don't do that. What sort of practice is this doctor going around and go,
Dr. Jekyll.
I mean, Carl, think of what you're saying.
but
where would he have stopped? Can you put his head on my knee? It's up to you. If you sign this, you're making my consent.
but we, it is annoying.
What do you think these doctors sit around doing? Playing Mr. Potato? Or what do you think these doctors are doing?
Just to do as they're told.
They don't do as they're told.
They do if someone wants it, and twins sort of it can get you down, can't it? Being a twin, because it's like.
So what would this solve though? I thought you said he gave one of them a bigger nose or a beard. Look different, right? Not. I'll tell you what we could do. Go on. Would you like one arm? Go on. What are you thinking? Well, me 3, you 1. Therefore, not twins.
Novelty.
I mean, you are a mental man.
But they can do it now, can't they? There's no sort of there's no line drawn anymore. They don't go, you're crazy, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, in Saw 2, not in the real world.
No,
they
but-
don't do things like
Alright,
this.
there's another bloke, right? I don't know the sort of full ins and outs of it.
Go on, you surprise me.
But what he asked for, something happened to his tackle, right?
It's penis.
Yeah, right. So he was at the doctor's, and they were like, "Oh, what can you do for me? It's a bit embarrassing. I've got nothing down there." Right. So they were like looking at it, going, "Yeah." Doctor, I don't know if he started like rubbing his chin with his finger or something. Looked down. He's thinking, got an idea. You've got a lot of fingers. How many of them do you use? The patient's like, yeah, I see what you're thinking. They cut off one of his fingers, sewn that on to where his tackle is. He's happy.
Well, that's different though, isn't it? That's where they've
really
taken tissue. No, but I assume they fashioned it into more of a knob than a finger.
No, I still think it's there with like a little knuckle and fingernail and that on.
Well, I assure you it isn't. They probably used the finger as a basis to then build up some sort of knob-based
No, because
organ.
if you were doing that, use a sausage. I mean, why lose a finger for?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because your finger has your tissue, your blood type, and therefore would graft near your testicles. A sausage is a thing that's made by a butcher out of offal, okay, that really can't be grafted onto any part of the human body. That's why they very rarely use any meat products in surgery. I know, yeah. Well, I mean, why not use a sausage? You're a mental case.
I saw some bloke the other day in a meeting, and on his desk he had a picture of his kids who were twins, right? And they looked alike, and he did that thing of dressing them the same, that sort of thing. That annoys me, right? And I sort of said, you've only got a small desk, just have a picture of one of them. He looked at me like I was mental.
That's amazing.
It's not. I think it's it's sort of common sense.
You know what you've come up with there? No solution to anything. That's what you've come up with there. You've come up with the best no solution I've ever heard in my life.
It's solutions to problems that don't exist.
No, because more room on the desk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's no solution to a problem that didn't exist in the first place. Well done.
There was a picture on when I was on the plane coming back from here, there was a picture of this new luxury hotel. It'll be, I think, $10,000 a night to stay there. It looked extraordinary. It was a hotel, and the best rooms were built under the water, under the sea.
Wow.
So it was the best hotel we've ever seen, but surrounded on all sides by glass, and out of it you could see the sea, the sharks, the fish.
I don't think I'd like that.
No?
But that again, that's just one of them hotels where it's over the top for over the top sake, isn't it? Like where they have 12-course meals. Well, just have 2 but make them bigger, rather than dragging it out and there's the first course. You know, a couple of
Snails.
Yeah, it's just for me all that is.
Don't eat a snail. Don't have one snail. Eat one big tortoise. If you want slow food, don't have loads of little snails. Here, there's a giant tortoise. Tuck into that. Feeds 10. But it's what you were saying before. When you start having to take a risk with food, like the fish that can kill you if you eat it, don't bother. But there's apparently a delicacy in Japan, again, someone could verify this, where they eat a live little octopus. And it can stick to your throat because it's obviously fighting for its life. I mean, good. Again, you don't need to eat a live octopus. What are you thinking? How cruel is that?
Well, how fresh do you need your food? It's not, do you know what I mean? But I always remember this story when I was a kid about some bloke who, a bit sad, the story, but weird. He had throat cancer, right? And his doctor said, carry on with your life, right? It's not going to be that good, but just carry on, but don't eat meat. And he was like, I love meat. It's like, yeah, but just don't, have your veg, plenty of vitamins and stuff, keep yourself strong, but don't be eating that. Anyway, he was fed up because he loved his meat, and his wife was feeling a bit sorry for him one day, and thought, I'm sick of him looking fed up and that, all he wants is some meat, for God's sake, give him some meat. So she goes to the butcher's, gets him a big piece of like steak and what have you. He can't believe it, he's like, oh brilliant, cheers for that. Anyway, he's got the meat on his plate, just about to tuck in, and the cancer comes out from his throat. What? No, it's something, I know, it sounds really weird, but it's something that I was told like years ago when I was growing up.
What are you talking about?
It was just some bad illness, some cancer thing, and it was coming out waiting for the meat. It was sort of dying.
Again, a lot of your medical knowledge is from the film Alien. So this guy with throat cancer, okay, as opposed to it being a disease of the cell.
It was like a living.
The alien.
So it was the animal. It was the little animal cancer.
That's why
what are you talking about?
Meat. He wasn't allowed to eat meat.
So it's sitting there. So it's actually sitting there and so. Well, I'll tell you what I'd have done if I'd have had some cancer in my throat. I go, there you go. With that. What are you talking about? So what happened?
He choked to death on this thing, and the wife was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have given him the meat after all." Just
that's a bollock story.
It's all. There's loads of weird stuff like that.
There
that
is.
happens in medical stuff.
Well, the terrible thing is, if you got testicular cancer and you eat meat, your bollocks come out of your trousers, and they're all over the plate, and you have to be asked to leave the restaurant.
The other thing that I was told when I was younger about medical stuff and that.
Who's telling you this stuff?
My mum told me about it.
Jeez.
Because she always says to me, Dad, because he has too much meat, and she's always like,
Remember the
fella would do it, and he goes,
the troll in his throat.
But my gran, she had something wrong with her eyes, and they saw dangling on a cheek, and she could still see through them. They were operating on her.
Yeah, you would have, yeah.
They sort of say...
No, she wouldn't have been conscious, though.
No, they were then, because it's something to do with the eyes, and it's like... No, it's no good operating on eyes if your eyes are asleep.
What do you mean, your eyes are asleep?
It's like a heart, isn't it? You want to keep them awake.
No,
So
what do
keep
you
your eyes
mean you want to
open.
keep them awake? What, heart surgery is when blokes awake? Stop talking shit all your life.
What I mean is they don't stop the heart. They
Because
sort
they
of...
don't stop your heart, because it kills you.
Yeah, I know. So what I mean is it's like the eyes. They wanted to make sure they were working. So the only way to do it is keep her awake.
No, it's not, because you don't know whether they're working or not. You can't see what she sees. What do you think? You can plug something in and see what people are thinking.
It was something like that.
No, it wasn't something like that.
Well, she could see. She
No,
said it
she
was
couldn't.
really weird. How like, you can see...
She can see her knees.
That is bollocks. Oh, chimpanzee, that is only gone and written it down, the little...
That's the jingle for Carl's Diary, excerpts of which we read each week. Get straight into it. A band from the Conga have won the Best Newcomers in a Radio 3 competition. They use pots and pans for instruments. It says that the Conga is a poor, sad place. So why do people do that happy dance at the end of parties called the Conga?
Right, one is the Congo. There's no place called the Conga. They come from a place called the Congo. Where do you come from? Okie dokie.